Alright traders, hello and good afternoon. It's some chart analysis and I guess what I'll call an end of week update. I'm not in any positions currently and I mistakenly took the Aussie dollar sell trade I was talking about on a demo account. I was a little bit rushed and on the phone, and I usually do run a demo just to run a few things. It's more just if nothing's going on for one system, I'll just use it to hone my skills a little bit, to be honest. It helps me. I'm not necessarily an advocate for everyone using it. Some people can just jump straight in, but I'm more of a conservative trader. I was talking about going long here, and I took it at the high of that candle, and I think I might have just ended it at the high of that candle at around 60 to 79. I don't think I got 79. So it was sort of, I got, it's continuing to run as well. And I was watching this and I took it on the phone and I didn't really, it was a real small trade because my current client accounts are quite small. I'm just trying to build them. And it's still running. It's quite interesting. The US index is at a point where it's either going to bounce or it could weaken a little bit more. So that's something to pay attention to. And congrats to the guys that have been holding this for a while. I've discussed multiple times that I'm, more bearish on this pair, but it really, I've also said as well that if it shows strength, I'll get it, and it sort of did. There was a change, and the safe haven flows that we've seen into the US dollar have sort of eased, and yeah, we've seen, since mid March, where the low was on the 19th of March, sorry, the low of 55 flat pretty much, 6, and now we're at 63, high 63, 60, sorry. So I'll continue to watch this. I won't be taking a trade. I'm pretty happy with the start of the month so far. I'm up about 1.5% or so in total on the client account, so that's good. Euro US dollar. This is sort of looking long as well. I guess what I'd like to have seen is this breaking out and then coming back and bouncing, which it didn't really. I guess you could have got in. I missed it, so I'm not going to chase it right now. It's going to be interesting to see how things play out. Although market activity is going to be pretty slow just with the holidays that are on, so that's something to pay attention to. I'll bring up gold here as well. It's interesting what it's doing now. I think it did get to 1690 as well. It did. Very interesting. Had this sort of little squeeze in play, and it did, but it looks like the risk appetite is more on right now. Even though gold's doing this, but the equities are sort of a bit healthier, so there's less panic going on, which is good to see. So we might see maybe a gap up on the Aussie. Probably not really, but I'm not going to chase this. And for next week, we start fresh, and we'll see what the market wants to do. But if it ends at highs of where it started for the session for Friday, then it's it's pretty positive, and we could see that roll over into next week. Based on how the weekend goes as well. I don't believe I've got oil up as well, so I might just bring up the USD CAD just to see what that did. Bring up the pound as well. So it's sort of grinding a little bit higher. Euro pound, I was actually posted this on my Instagram about this going short potentially, and I didn't take it, and it hasn't. So it just needed to do a little bit more. I need to get below here and then do a bounce and a retest, and it didn't do it. So I'm going to leave that for now. USD CAD, and I want to bring up the USD yen as well. USD CAD on the daily. Interesting. Oil's actually eased off a little bit as well when I last checked a couple hours ago. I'll bring silver up as well. So this week could have been much better, to be honest. There was a little bit of an error on my behalf with the Aussie dollar, which what can you do? That's life. It's unfortunate. But I was talking about it as well in my previous video, so you can see that it's all about identifying the setups and then obviously getting in when you need to get in and letting it play out. And letting it play out, for me, to be fair, is still a bit of a challenge, especially in these markets. But if it's not showing you any reason to get out of the trade, don't get out of the trade as well. And that's sort of caught a bit as well. I'll finish with the USD yen here, guys. And the USD yen is sort of, it's range bound, but it's weakening a little bit as well. See what it's doing intraday. Okay, so it's just pretty uneventful. Alright, I'm going to conclude at that, guys. So we'll keep the Aussie on watch for next week. I probably want to see a reversal and a pretty strong one to get in long, so I'm going to leave this for now, but I just wanted to talk about it. I talked about it yesterday as well, so that was what happened with it, and it's just trading, and I hope everyone's doing well too. S&P, the ASX is all stronger as well, so we'll see what next week brings. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. Hope everyone's having a great long weekend as well.